Welcome back, guys. In this new video I will be doing another basic exercise in AutoCAD. Again, the first thing to do is to alright, let me ask you a few questions, a few tips for drawing. What are the 7 things that you need to set up before you start drawing AutoCAD? So before we start drawing, you must open your drawing template. That's the first thing you need to do. The second thing to do is to turn off your grid. The third thing is to ensure that your limit is set to millimeters. The fourth thing is to set your limits. After you set your limits, the next thing to set up is your layers. And after layer, you want to set up your dimension setting. Yes, you want to set up dimension settings and your text. Your text. And last but by no means least, you want to set up your object snap. Your object snap settings or your drawing settings. Under object snap setting, you want to ensure that midpoint is turned on, uh, node and quadrant is turned on. Very important. Now, let's look at this drawing. So the first thing to do here is to draw a rectangle, and rectangle would represent 60 by 40. So I type rectangle, REC for rectangle, enter. I then left click, drag. If you're using AutoCAD architecture, remember that you must place the @ sign before the first one. Then I enter 60, 60, comma, 40, 40, enter. That is done. So we now draw the rectangle. The next thing to do is to, from here to here is 20. So to get that point, well, that would be midpoint here, and that would be at an angle of 45. It means therefore that this distance is the same as that distance. So in that case, I could use a circle. So C for circle, enter. Left click here, drag this down to the middle, the midpoint. That is done. Then I will draw a line from here to here. You might be asked, why did Sir use a circle? Well, if the angle is 45, it means that if the overall distance is 40 and here is 20, it means that here is 20 as well. And if here is 20, angle is 45, it means that this side is also 45. So that's the main reason for that. The next step is to draw a circle. Well, from this point I'm going to use a circle, a 2-point circle of diameter 18 to get this point right here, to get this point here. So I go C for circle, enter. In this case, I want 2 points. So I go down here, click on 2P. I then left click my start point, drag out a little bit, then type 18. 1, 8, enter. That doesn't seem as correct. Let me check the radius. Alright, let me check the radius for this. Oh, it's 28. I think I entered incorrect value. So let me go again. Circle, 2P, left click here, 1, 8, 1, 8, enter. 1, 8. Let me go one more time. Let me check the diameter of this. Diameter is 28. Why does keep on doing that? Alright. This is giving me a little problem. But by the way, guys, you will find that the software will act up like this, especially if you're using the i3 processor, similar to what I am using. So be aware that the software tends to glitch or tends to act up when your machine is being overworked or when too many things are in the computer. So I'll be using a different technique. I will be using circle with radius from this end. So I left click here, type 22, 22, enter, and I get the same thing right here. So this is the distance for here for that point. Now from here to here is 16, and from here to there is 24. So I could draw next circle from here with radius 24. Spacebar to reactivate circle. Left click here, type 24, 24, enter. That's done. Now here is my other side. So what I'm doing here, I'm using circle to mark off the distance. So my next step is to left click here and left click there, enter. 1, 2, 3 to get that. So now the primary shape is formed. Now my next step is to draw this circle here, and to get this center I could do this one of three ways. I could draw a line here, 18, then go up 20, or this seems to be in line with this, so I am gonna draw a line from here, 18. So L for line, left click here, go turn on auto mode, go 18 in this direction, 1, 8, enter, enter. Then click circle, C for circle, enter, left click here, and I'm not quite sure what this radius is. Let me check to find out what this radius is. Left click here, this radius is 9, circle, enter, 9 for the radius, enter. That is there. Now I have a polygon here, and this polygon is located at 24 plus 18, that is 30, 42 from this end and 10 millimeters up. So from this end is 42 plus 10 millimeters up. I will be using line. Left click on line, left click here, go 42, 42, enter, and up 10, 1, 0, enter, enter to get the center for this. Now my next step is to, again, this polygon is not labeled, so I'll be using let me use label here, that is 10. So go back to so type polygon, POL for polygon, enter. In this case I want 6 sides, 6, enter. Specify the center. I want it to be to circumscribe about a circle, and let this be 10, 1, 0, enter. This seems to be this should delete, that probably should be 5. Alright, let me draw a circle of radius 5, 5, enter. Then polygon, POL, enter. Enter to accept 6 sides. Click here, circumscribe, then click there. So circumscribe draws a polygon outside a circle. Inscribe draws a polygon within a circle. So that is done. I can now delete circle. My next step is to brighten up this figure. So for that, I must first change to my, which line? Which line should I change to in this case? Outline, yes. From outline, I must go to which one? Polyline. Then I left click here, go down here, left click, come down here, left click, go across, left click, go up here, left click, and then type C for close. That is now closed. Now I need to use match property to change this one to the outline. So I type MA for match property, then enter. I then left click the one that I want to copy, then touch this, escape. Now I could left click on this, go up to layers and click on outline, and that will produce the same results. Now once I've done that, I want to go to my dimension line, and I will be clicking here, dimension, and I want to insert my center mark, left click here, left click there. That is done. Now to dimension this figure, I'm going back to home. In this case, first one I want linear, and of course linear is used for horizontal and vertical lines, and I drag down. I hit the space bar 2 times, 1, 2. When that circle box pops up, I left click on this, drag, and I could do that again. Space bar 2 times, 1, 2 to reactivate, left click here, drag, that is dimensioned. I could use a regular one. No, for in this case, this is sloped. It means therefore that I must use aligned. So I left click here, go down to align, left click on align, and touch one end, second end, then I drag out, then click. Or I could go hit space bar 2 times, 1, 2. When that box pops up, I left click on the line, and it will dimension that side as well. That is pretty much done for the outside. Now I need to establish the radius. So for that, to dimension a circular object, I must click either radius or diameter. Excuse me. Left click on radius, click on the circumference, drag out. That's it. Just in case I don't want it in that position, I can always move it. Escape. For this, I wish to dimension the flat side. So that is linear. Left click here, go back up here, left click at this point, left click there, then drag out, and that is done. So just as we intend to have it, this is done. And please note that we should not erase our construction lines. Yeah, so these are our construction lines. Okay, one question before you go. What are the 2 ways in which you tell me in the comment section, 2 ways in which you can reactivate a command bar or a command? Again, 2 ways in which you can reactivate a command bar. And next question, how many points do we need to draw a rectangle? Yeah, tell me in the comment section.